Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at my, just off camera I got them piled up, my Sega Master System collection. It's my first ever games console, so my introduction to the world of video games back in the early or mid to late 80s I should say. I had it was called a Toshiba MSX, and it was cassettes. So when I say cassettes, it was, cassettes like that. That's how games used to the format games used to come on. Then I had the Commodore 64. So again, that was also cassettes as well. That's sealed, that is, guys. I know we're not talking a sealed Street Fighter for the Commodore 64. I'm never going to open it. I just found it one day. I thought, fucking hell, that's going in the collection in the Tony Museum. Then after I had the Commodore 64 for years, and then one Christmas we had the Sega Master System. So I thought we'd have a look at my collection. I've still kept every single game that I grew up with. I believe I had 7 games. I might be including, I had the Master System 2, which had, some came with Sonic the Hedgehog built in, Sonic 1, and some came with Alex Kidd in Miracle World built in, and that's the version I had. My first ever memory of the Master System was in Dixon's. I played Alex Kidd, who was built in, so they added up the demo running, I might have actually done a Master System collection, but what I'm noticing now, I'm going to do all my video game collections, and I'll either do an update every 6 months or every 12 months, okay? But I thought I'll do a complete up-to-date then video of my Sega Master System games. Because I'm actively now, whenever I'm bored, I'm finding myself going on CX, going on YouTube, and I'm really enjoying collecting for this system again, okay? Some really good games on it. There's some trash games, but I think they're so bad they're good games, okay? Price-wise, you can pick up my cheapest game I've bought, boxed, Transbot. I think I paid £3 for that, complete in box. And the most expensive game, I think it's actually Mortal Kombat 2, and that's just the cartridge. I definitely played over the odds. I saw it, got excited. I paid £29.99 for that. We'll talk about that in a sec. But that's a good game. Mortal Kombat 2 is a very good game for the Sega Master System. There are games that go, what springs to mind? Golden Axe the Warrior. I know 2 shops have selling it, and it's around about the £100. I think CX currently have it as £100 in CX. So it's, bottom. It's a poor man's console and it's a rich man's console as well. So they're either really cheap or very expensive. There are other games up there, the £100 plus mark. Some of the rare games. So I'm just collecting games I want to play. I haven't actually played all of these games yet, but every game I've bought, I've either got memories of playing it back in the day. Maybe I borrowed it. Like back my generation, there was a lot of swapping games with your friends. Oh, what games console you got? Oh, Master System. What games you got? And then you tell them, so, I'll lend you this, you lend me that. There was a lot of that going on. So a lot of these games are games I borrowed from back in the day, and so I thought I'd pick them up. So I'll start with Alex Kidd in Miracle World. I was so happy that this is obviously a PlayStation 4 game, and this is the reversible cover. This is how you do a remaster, okay? So it does come with the instruction book, and that's exactly like the instruction books used to have. It comes with a key ring as well. I obviously bought this brand new, but it is the reversible cover. But when I realised it was a reversible cover and it had the classic Master System grid, or the artwork, the art style, if you like, on it, I thought, that's the version I want. And also the disc has got that Master System grid burgundy colour on there as well. So this is done right. And you can swap Like, I think Halo were the first one to do it, the Master Chief Collection, where you can instantly swap the graphics. So I really appreciate that, you know. And I think you could do this with infinite lives, so you should, in theory, be able to get further than you could back in the day. But back in the day, then, this was the game, I think I had this and one other game that Christmas. And my cousin from South Africa came over to spend Christmas with us. And we played this game to death. We got really, really far in that game, you know. But like now, we're spoilt for choice. You play a game, go, I fancy playing a fighting game, you stick that on. I fancy playing a shooting game, I'll stick that on. But back in the 80s, it wasn't that simple. You had one game and that was it, basically. Okay, I'll talk about Mortal Kombat 2 then. So I said this is the most expensive game I've got in my collection. I did play over the odds for it. And it's corrupt. I played it quite a bit. And then I went to play it. I was going to play it on my series Around the World with 80 Fighting Games. And there's nothing wrong with the Master System. It just says corrupt error and software was corrupt. But it sounds loose. There's something gone wrong there somewhere. So maybe I'll be able to fix it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with these. But yeah, I will buy another. That's something I'm watching on eBay, you know. Okay, so a game I haven't played. It's quite a new game to the collection. Strider 2. I'm just checking. It is complete in box as well. Shout out, somebody did say to me before, if it's US gold, a lot of the cartridges were white. Like, my first ever physical game was a US gold game, so I didn't realise the majority of the Sega Master System cartridges were they had the burgundy colour on them. So I had a bit of an argument with the guy before. No, they're all white. And he was saying, no, they're all this colour. And I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, this game looks good. Strider, I think it was a PS3 game's the latest one that I bought digital on the PS4. That's a ton of fun. I saw this. I know this was a big deal in the arcades, wasn't it? I haven't got around to playing it yet. I haven't played my Master System probably since I played Pit Fighter. So it's quite about 3 months it's been since I've stuck this in, you know, my Master System on, I should say. Another game I haven't played, quite a recent addition, is Shadow of the Beast. This was quite a big deal back in the day. A lot of people were playing this. This one's actually missing that little hanger thing, you know. It's not the end of the world. And it hasn't got the manual. Another white cartridge. I think I bought this internetly in the store, Retribution. Yeah, I had it for dirt cheap in there, so I thought, yeah, I'll buy that. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I have heard very good things about that. Shadow Dancer, another action game, not complete in box. I believe it's the same. I bought that in Retribution internetly. Again, it looks side-scrolling. A lot of the action games were side-scrolling, you know, from left to right and take on the baddies. But I think there might be some 3D elements in this one as well, looking at that there, if the camera's picking it up all right. Yeah, so again, I just haven't put my Master System on for a couple of days. The latest game add to the collection, I'm really happy to find this, Robocop versus The Terminator. When I bought this, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago when I did a pickups video, and I did say that it wasn't available in CEX, but all of a sudden now it is popping up. So maybe my search wasn't picking it up, but it was picking up the Mega Drive and the Game Gear version of it. Again, it's not complete in box, but it's a black cartridge that time. Some of the cards, so you had the burgundy ones, white. This is the only black cartridge, and then some of them had that like purpley or like navy blue cartridge. I think is 1 or 2 games I've got as well. Don't know why, but it's interesting. This is probably, from what I've seen gameplay, the best looking. Ghouls and Ghosts is a very good looking game as well, but this has got to be up there, you know. So that'll probably, when I boot up the Master System again, that'll probably be the first game I'm going to stick in and enjoy. Right, this game, I call it Shit Fighter. It's actually called Pit Fighter. This game's a fucking mess. And I said to my mates, if I ever see it is complete in box, white cartridge again. If I ever see it in the wild, I'm going to buy it. And there was a store, like one of these cash generator places that had it in there for months, and nobody wanted to buy it. So yeah, I bought it. Part of pack only, not to be returned separately. Okay. This game's terrible. It's got massive. The stages, or like the arenas you fight in, are massive. The fighters are tiny. You can walk like off camera. It just goes on forever. It's a shit game. The arcade version though that I've got on, I think it's on the Xbox 360, is an half decent game, but this is trash. This isn't so bad, it's good though. Maybe it is, because I did have fun playing it. I'm not gonna lie, but I got no urge to jump back into that. Another bad game. I didn't really enjoy this. It's hard though. I'll show you my control pad now. Actually, it's really hard with these games because you only had 2 buttons. Like what's on a fight stick? 2, 4, 6, sometimes 8 buttons on an arcade stick. So to get Mortal Kombat, 1 button for your upper body punch and 1 for kick. Trying to do a special move, it doesn't really work. But Mortal Kombat 2 did the best possible job, I'd say, of pulling it off. Visually, it looks okay. My favourite thing about this, though, is the artwork. It really pops when it's on the side of the shelf with all the white box art and stuff. This just does stand out, and I'm a big fan of the classic Mortal Kombat logo. I think this is, it's complete in box with the receipt still in there. Another white cartridge, but it isn't US gold, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, I'll show you my controller then. I originally kept my Sega Master System. It kind of survived from back in the day. It was just in boxes, getting knocked around storage for like 20, 30 years, or however old it is. And then when I bought my house, I thought, great, it's one of the things I'm going to get out. And it didn't quite work. The controller wasn't working. So I did buy a controller off CEX. Only one of the buttons worked, so I took that back. And then I was looking, it wasn't that much more expensive to buy a new console. So I bought a new console, but the main reason I wanted to buy that was because it came with a control pad. The very next day, it's not his fault, my dog Rossi, he's not even 2 years old yet, but he would have been not even 1 at the time, so he was still a puppy. He came into my games room and he chewed the cable for my Master System. There must have been a smell on it or something. Like, he chewed it all the way. Like, it was in about 50 pieces, completely chewed through. I don't know what he was thinking. So I couldn't believe it. It could have been worse. He could have chewed like my Victrix Pro lead or something like that. I thought, fuck. So I ended up buying, I went on eBay, I found this seller, I can't remember, well, this thing's called the RetroPad, so that's what I use, where a lot of the Master System directional pad was really loose, and this feels really tight. It obviously looks like maybe he's using parts of the NES control pad, but I really am really happy with it. So maybe if you search RetroPad, it might come up. He had really good reviews. I got no complaints. Maybe the cable could have been a little bit longer. But that's been really nitpicky. But when I play on my CRT, my chair's got wheels on it, so I tend to sit right in front of it anyway. But yeah, this feels good in the hand, It doesn't feel it feels weird when I'm playing like Sonic or Ghouls and Ghosts with this, but after 10 minutes you forget, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my control pad. Right, we're going into a couple of games that I had, or original games I've kept then. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Now this one might not, it is complete in box. This was a game that I borrowed off a kid who used to live up the street from me. He was a year older than me, but he was in my brother's year, but he was more my friend. My brother liked games, but I loved the video games. He doesn't play them at all now. You can see I've got my surname Evans written on the back in fucking permanent marker. This damp though, I think that was when he sold it to us. So basically he lent it to us and he wrote out a list of video games and put prices, and this was, I still remember, this was £7 he wanted for this. I think he'd upgraded. I think he had a Super Nintendo, so he was just selling everything. And we begged and begged and begged my father, can we borrow £7, or we'll do the hoovering, mow the lawns, whatever we had to do to get this game, because we loved this game back in the day. And Michael Jackson, he could do no wrong back in the day. Whatever you think about him now, when we were playing this. He was the man, like, you know. Okay, my first ever physical game. Again, it's got writing on the front. It's Indiana Jones. This game is terrible. Absolutely terrible. But we didn't know any different. My favourite thing when I had the Master System, right, going from the Commodore 64 to the Sega Master System, you put the cartridge in, you turn it on, and it's instant. It couldn't be faster. It loads like that. You'll get to the title screen, you press one of the buttons, you're in the game. It's that fast. So, yeah, I don't think we ever got... Maybe we got past level 2. I think I did it once. But it's too hard. It's very inconsistent with, like, the first level you're in, like, you're underground in, like, a cave chamber kind of thing. And there's ropes, so you can't just drop off a ledge because you'll just die. But then, like, you got to jump to the rope, climb down the rope. But then sometimes, some ledges, you think, well, where's the rope? And you can drop on some of the ledges. It's very inconsistent, you know what I mean? But it's not a very good game at all. It's not fun. The second level, no, I haven't got it there, it does follow the movie, where you're on that train, on the train carriages, with all the animals, like the circus or something's in town. And you got to jump over, like there's a rhino horn coming up and down, like, and you got to jump over it. Then there's a giraffe's head comes up, and you got to time it and jump over. But yeah, we didn't play that a lot because we had Alex Kidd. Alex Kidd was a very good game. Golden Axe. So there's 2 Golden Axe games on the Master System. This is the cheaper one. This is quite new to the collection as well. Golden Axe Warrior is more of a, I believe, like a Zelda clone. That's the one that goes for banks. If you're in a charity shop or something like that, and you see Golden Axe, just buy it, right? Because you can quadruple your money very easily. Or it's a good game to have in the collection. Yeah, it is complete in box as well. I'm doing alright with the complete in box games on the Master System. Not many people are collecting for the Master System, not in my friend circle anyway, so there's no competition out there. I did play this. My main memories of playing Golden Axe, there was a very good version on the Commodore 64. So that's the version. It had that big box. Came in the big PC box kind of thing back then. But I always remember how annoyed I was the first time I realised companies were doing this. On the back of the Commodore 64 case, they'd have Commodore Amiga graphics. So you'd be like in the shop going, wow, look how good the graphics are. They did it with Robocop as well. You go home, you put your cassette in, you wait what felt like, might have been 7-8 minutes, but it felt like about half hour. And you're like, oh, it looks nothing like the back of that. So you can argue it's false advertising, but all the companies, big companies, were doing it back in the day. But anyway, this is a good fun game. I think I did borrow it off someone back in the day. I definitely remember playing that, but I haven't played it this time around. My favourite game on the Master System is Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghouls and Ghosts, as it's pronounced. Again, it's got my name written on the back, or my surname. This game, I remember I'll never sell this. My grandparents going to London to see a show or something. And back then, going to London was a big deal. I was primary school. I might have been 10, I think, because my brother was in comprehensive school. And my school were having a day off, or like an inset day or something. So both my parents work, so I had to go up my auntie's house for the day. And my nan was there, and she gave me this game. And she said, why don't you wait for your brother to come home from school and play it together? So I was like, yeah, okay. Went upstairs where my Master System was plugged into the TV in my cousin's bedroom. I think I was playing like Alex Kidd or Sonic the Hedgehog. And this game was just sitting there. It was opened. And I think I lasted 1 minute and 17 seconds. Then I played this game all day. Brother comes home then, take out the cartridge, put it back in the case, put Sonic back on. He's like, oh, what did we get? So I'm saying, oh, looks brilliant. I waited for you. Put it in, and he was like, you're very good at this game. And I was telling him, no, don't go that way. You got to do this. He's like, how do you know? Nobody. They probably realised I've been playing it all day, kind of thing. But that's the way I was back. I couldn't resist, you know. Maybe my gran can blame my nan because she should have given it to both of us at the same time. Maybe I begged her, didn't I? I used to get so excited with anything new video game. But this game gets a little bit of hate because it is cheap, but I enjoyed it. You get all the way through the main game, and then you get to the end, and it says you can't fight the main boss because we haven't got this special weapon. So you've got to go all the way back to stage 1 to get and this weapon, you've got to find the weapon along the way. But you've kept all your armor, all your weapons. You're really powerful. So you just breeze through, and I really enjoyed my second playthrough, or like when they sent me back to level 1 with like the gold armor and all that shit. It was so satisfying. I think I struggled on this level, and you just breeze through it, you know. So I did enjoy it, and it obviously doubles the play time of the game, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's my favourite game for the Sega Master System. California Games. I'm a big fan of one of the games in this, and that's the surfing level. I used to play that to death. I borrowed this off someone, and I've recently picked this up. CX had it in the window, complete in box as well. Manual is quite looked after as well, which is quite rare. And yeah, it was just the surfing. I could play that like hours and hours and hours, just waiting for those judges' scores to come up. And I did get 6s, which is the maximum score. I did all right, but I couldn't do anything. I didn't have the patience for was it roller skating, skateboarding in the half pipe, and BMXing. I can't remember how many sports there were, but as far as I was just surfing, that's all I wanted to play on that. Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. This was a big deal. All the Disney games were really good quality. You can argue that's the best looking graphics. I just like the art style, everything about Ghouls and Ghosts, you know. I borrowed this a couple of times. One of my friends had a few games, and it's quite hard. I never finished it, but it's very satisfying. It's one of those games where, if I remember, you just jump, like Mario, you jump on their heads, or Sonic, you jump on their heads of the enemies and stuff like that. Yeah, very polished, high quality game, let's say, but it's quite hard if my memory serves. Another game I haven't got round to playing yet, Alien 3. I did play this in the arcade. I bought this, I think, last time I went out, complete in box. And it was in Super Tomato, so shout out Super Tomato in Cardiff. He had 3 Alien 3s, and 2 of the boxes had like slices in them or something, as if somebody had been cutting something on and using this as a base or something, so they cut through the plastic and the artwork. So obviously I'm going to pick the one without the slices, but this one didn't have the manual in there. And when I was paying, I had a couple of games, I had some good games. That's why I picked up Ikaruga for the Nintendo GameCube. And he said, oh, have a look, I got another 2 there, have a look if any of those have got the manual. And he didn't charge me any extra. I was like, oh no, that's how you do business. You know, that's one of the reasons whenever I'm in Cardiff, I make sure to go there. And if I know some of his stuff is a bit overpriced, I'd rather give him my business, because he's renting a shop in Cardiff, which is very expensive, you know. So I always try to support Super Tomato. But I haven't played that yet. But I have the arcade version was pretty good. Quite stressful, if I remember, because there's time limits and there's a maze, and you could go in. It's quite crafty. You've got to learn where to go, so it sends you down like these corridors and down a ladder, and it's like a dead end. You think, oh fuck! So you got to backtrack, and you just can see the time limit running down. That's what I believe I remember in the arcade. Xeon 2 Mega Blast. Bought this in Llanelli Retrobution. It's a shmup. I haven't played it yet. Again, that's nice and minty. Oh, there we are. Look, there's a blue cartridge. There was 2 versions of this game there as well, so the artwork looked completely different. I asked him what's the difference. He said, oh, both run fine. I believe it does anyway. Maybe one's a European version or something like that. But I remember seeing this in the magazines, or definitely seen those screenshots before, but no, I've never played that. Oh, a game I can't remember who I borrowed it off, but this was a big deal back in the day. Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. And I think they've done, not like they did with Alex Kidd, with the PS4 remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it. I think this has recently had that kind of treatment. Also on like a collection. This is a lot of people's favourite Master System game. Yeah, there's different characters, and each character has certain abilities. And it says on the front there, look, with password save. You can see that? Yeah, with password save. Because it's one of those bigger games where they said, right, people aren't going to be able to complete this in one sitting. So they give you like passwords, right? Okay, yeah, you get to this level, you can type this password in, so you have to get your pen and paper. Where's a pen? You'd be writing on whatever piece of paper, you know, like on the 3 pages or something. No, the yellow pages, remember that? You'd be writing on there like fucking passwords for Wonder Boy. But yeah, I can't remember who I bought it off, but I remember this was a very good game. Transbot. This is the cheapest game in the collection. It's a side-scrolling shmup. And this is one of those games where I borrowed, my first ever game I borrowed, you know. Case is alright condition, I suppose. It's starting to tear down the bottom. Yeah, so it's alright. I don't think you can actually finish this game. All you've got to do, there's only 2 levels. So you start off that level. Mad I can still remember this. That's the second level. If I remember, it either keeps going back and forth, or I don't know if it's broken or you've got to do something. We could never figure it out, what you got to do to finish the game, because you can beat the boss and then the level just carries on. So I don't know what to do with that game, but yeah, I had to have it just for the memories, you know. Terminator. I can't remember if this is complete in box. I think I bought this in Retribution as well. Yeah, this is very I think it's similar to Robocop vs Terminator. Side-scrolling, got the ladders, all that shit, all the platforms. Again, haven't played it. It looks really good. My parents wouldn't have bought me that back in the day, though. Oh gosh, Terminator, violence, you know. The Ninja. I definitely borrowed that. I definitely played that. I never owned it back in the day. It is complete in box. But anything Shinobi, Ninja related, I'm all over that shit, you know. So I don't think it reviewed that well, but it wasn't expensive, you know. Oh, I think this one. Yeah, check this one out. So this is the Cyber Shinobi. Now, I bought this in CEX in Newport, right? And I didn't go there just for this. So I was like, I'll have a look. If it's in half decent condition, I'll buy it. I can't remember how much it was. It was about 3-4 months ago I picked this up. I really like it. I have played this game. I did borrow this off someone back in the day. So I asked the guy that was serving me, I said, you got Cyber Shinobi in the window. Do you know if it's got the instruction manual? So I made the decision, basically. If it's got the manual, I'll buy it. If not, I'll leave it. Because I was 50-50. The manual, so yes, it's got the manual. It's sealed. How rare is that? I've never seen a manual sealed. I got no memory of, like, when I had a new game, I'd have ripped that open. Because I did used to read the manual and stuff. Like, say we were out with my parents, they picked me up, they bought me a game. I'd literally be walking around the shops, reading cover to cover the manual, looking at the pictures or anything like that. So it's so rare to have one with it sealed. I was like, I couldn't buy this game quick enough then. Happy fucking days. I'll keep it sealed as well. But I haven't played that this time round. What I mean by this time round is as I'm an adult, you know. Another game I grew up with. Oh, I didn't write on this one. Tasmania. I think this is a very easy game. I think this is the first ever game. We'll have a look at that in a sec. I'll leave that there, actually. It's quite good condition. This might have been the last game my parents bought me. But yeah, it's very easy game. It's the first game I ever completed, if my memory serves right. It's a basic side-scrolling, like Sonic the Hedgehog, I suppose. But it's a lot slower. You gotta you can't. I've tried playing it recently. You can't. It's not as fluid. Like Sonic can go pretty. He's designed to go fast, isn't he? But there was a time where Tasmania was a big deal. I know the Mega Drive version was pretty cool. My favourite thing about this, though, I thought it was really funny back in the day, was you can't get too close to the bombs. If you eat everything, basically. So to get health, like you might see like a cooked chicken, randomly on the floor. That's how you get your health. You'll just go close to it and you'll eat it. But if you land on a bomb or get too close to a bomb, you'll pick that up and eat it. And you blow up and then he'll go black. It's really funny. But yeah, it's very basic game, that is, you know. So what came out of it was, this came in I have said before, I'm going to get one of these framed. Every cartridge would have come with one of these. So it's like a catalogue, Sega games catalogue, Master System and Master System 2 games. So I had all the artwork. So this is how we found out what games are out. On the back then, that's what I grew up with, the Master System 2 with Alex Kidd and Miracle World built in. A lot of people forget it had a zapper. Now the guy who sold me Moonwalker, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, he had the zapper, so I did play that quite a lot. It didn't have Duck Hunt. He had Hang On and some Safari game or something. And I think Operation Wolf was a game he used, the zapper. And then obviously they're advertising the new Game Gear and true 16-bit power. So the Mega Drive had just come out. So I was saying about, like there's Moonwalker on the cover. That's a game I'm in the hunt for. Psycho Fox. It's mad I can still remember this. So there's Cyber Shinobi, there's Golden Axe. That's definitely, no, it is, I don't know, that's Golden Axe there. I don't know what that is. Castle of Illusion. And then you open it up then. This is the side I want to get framed. So I have like screenshots. Look at that. You'd have screenshots of all the games in categories. So you have arcade games. So they made a big deal of that. That picture there was all I ever saw of Ghouls and Ghosts before I bought it. For some reason I thought, oh, it's big. It's big artwork. So it must be a good game kind of thing. So that's the game I asked for when my grandparents went to London. And it breaks my heart thinking about it. Then maybe they didn't even buy it. Maybe they bought it in Wales, but then when they went to London, like they came back and said, yeah, we bought this for you. But my memory, or the version of events I like to think of is my grandparents looking for a shop that sells video games in London. They didn't go there for that. They went to watch a show or something. And I just think, oh, bless them, then asking, oh, do you sell Master System games? It's just a lovely feeling. Maybe my parents bought the game and give it to my grandparents to say they bought, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's more realistic. But, yeah, it's Golden Axe the Warrior. Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. I think there's Psycho Fox. Wonder Boy. Oh, there's a couple of Wonder Boy games. Jungle Fighter. Then you had the sports titles. It had a bit of everything, the Sega Master System. Whatever you were into, it definitely had it. So I love. I'm so happy I kept quite a few of my games. Have still got that. But I'd love to have that up, maybe in one of my hallways or something. Yeah, it's. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy, as they say. Right, let's put that back in there. We don't want to lose that, do we? Probably my newest game in the collection. Paid $3 for this. Super Kickoff. It's made by US Gold. Feels like it is complete in box as well. So again, white cartridge because it's US Gold. I want to get into my football games, okay, or soccer games, but I think I prefer this retro top-down style, Yes, I thought getting it in the collection didn't cost me a lot of money. Shinobi, everyone's played this game. I really like that level where you throw in the ninja stars. But the way he throws them, so casual, and it's killing these guys. They're miles away, like they're about 50 metres away, and he's just throwing stars, it looks like. It's more impressive in the arcade. I'd play this game in the arcade as well, but it's quite funny. It's just like he's flicking his wrist, throwing the stars, and these guys go, they're all dying, but... yeah, it's a good fun game, that is. Okay, so probably my favourite Sonic game, Sonic the Hedgehog Chaos. Awesome game this is. Probably the easiest one. Oh, look, it's got the Games Master magazine. Do you remember that? It would have come with this, like, freebies or whatever sometimes. And these are things that you stick on and write your name. So I got Anthony Evans. I wasn't called Tony Fighter back in the day. But this is quite an easy game. It's a good first game to play as. You can swap between Tails and Sonic. You can do the spin dash and all that. It's far more advanced than Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, put it that way. And I tell you what, I've got a Sonic kick going on. I won a bid. I won 2, maybe 3 bids. I'll do some overdue pickups video, aren't I? I got this urge to play Sonic all of a sudden. I think I know why. I'll talk about it when I talk about my Sonic games, but there's something happened, and I stopped playing Sonic Mega Drive, and I haven't really played one since. I've never wanted to play one since because the reviews are very mixed. I don't like the look of it. But all of a sudden, there's tons of Sonic games, the back catalogue. I'm going to play them all. I'm going to collect them all. I'm going to play them all. I know some of them, like Sonic, is it 2006, is a terrible game or considered a terrible game. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to see if I like it, you know what I mean? Put my own opinion. Maybe I'll do a mini-series, Sonic the Hedgehog series, you know, but I haven't really played them since the Mega Drive. Never owned a Mega Drive, but I played Sonic 1 when I was in hospital. I was ill when I was younger. And they wheeled in, I was like, it's a children's ward. They wheeled in a TV with a Mega Drive. I was like, me, gimme. And we just blat. And it had Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one. So I got fond memories of being in hospital, surrounded by sick kids, playing Sonic the Hedgehog. But anyway, going back to this, that's my favourite song. That's probably my second or third favourite game on the whole system, you know. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This is another game we had from back in the day. Again, other than that, Evans, it's very minty. Shows we looked after our stuff. It is complete in box. The jumping out cartridge. The thing with this, again, I've said these stories before on my channel. I had this for Christmas. And I was at that age where I knew Father Christmas wasn't real. And I believe in him now, but back then I went through it. I believed in him. Then I didn't, and I believe in him again now, because who else gives you all this stuff for Christmas? So I knew where my parents stashed our stuff they were having for Christmas. They must have wrapped it either the day before Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve. And this game, when I say sealed, it had like a little Sega sticker there, but it wasn't any wrap around it. So I just peeled that off very carefully. Go into my bedroom, and I nearly finished this game before I was given the game. And one time, my brother had no idea. My mother came in the bedroom, talking to me. I'm playing this, going, oh, fuck. This now is on the counter, right under her nose. Oh, what are you playing? Oh, Sonic 1. Why would you say Sonic 1? You'd say Sonic. Because I said Sonic 1, as in, I'm not playing Sonic 2, if that makes sense. I was such a bad liar. I got away with it. My parents never knew that I was playing it before I was given it. A very similar story. So when the Ghouls and Ghosts, we had this game and another game, but I didn't really like this game. This is the weakest Sonic in my. It's a lot of people's favourite. I wasn't that fussed on it, and my brother wanted to play it, and I wanted to play the other game, whatever that was. And he said, no, we love Sonic. And then I said, no, don't go that way. And he was like thinking, how would you know? And when I was playing, I was showing him, so you're good at this. I said, oh, I read it in the magazine. I was such a bad liar, do you know what I mean? But they never knew. But yeah, it's all right, but it's the least favourite, my least favourite. My last game then, no surprise, is Sonic the Hedgehog 1. This would have been, I had my name on it. This would have been my second or third physical game. We played this game to death. I have spoke about some of the frustrations on my channel before, but yeah, so I won't go into it anymore. But yeah, that's classic Sonic. This isn't made by the same people that made the Mega Drive Sonic, so a lot of people say, oh, it's really different. It is different because it's not made by the same people. This feels more polished than that. See, that I had the impression it was rushed. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that's more fun than a very hard game. I've watched a friend complete it, but I've never actually completed it myself. I don't think we got... It was the Green Hill Zone, then was it Bridge, then it was Jungle, then it was the Labyrinth, then the level after that, was it the City or whatever it was called. At that stage, I couldn't get past that. So it says there 6 rounds, so I couldn't get past round 5. But my friend came over and showed us how it was done. He was very good at video games. Yeah, so that is my Sega Master System collection. I'm just going to grab the remote because I can't be bothered to press there, see. Yeah, let me know any other Sega Master System collectors out there. If you're in the Swansea area, stay away. Don't collect for the Master System. It's a piece of junk. Yeah. Leave the games for me. I'll buy them, so you don't have to. No, I'm joking. Yeah, the best place, maybe I'll regret saying this, best place in my area, you got Super Tomato, he's got a good collection, but the best, that's in Cardiff, the best place, in my opinion, is Retribution in Llanelli. He's got about 50, I want to say, maybe more than 50 games there. Very competitive prices. You just got to be patient. They're not all priced. And if you've got bad knees, good luck, because he's got them under the counter, under like this cabinet thing. So you got to go in, sacrifice your old knees, or I do anyway. That's where I recommend getting them. Yes, we'll end the video there. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know, what's your favourite Sega Master System games? As always, please do click that subscribe button. We're not far off, right? Like, I don't talk about subscribers too much, but we're not far off 250. We're over 220 as of filming this video. Wouldn't it be great for me if we get to 250 subscribers by the end of the year? So please help an old man out, make an old man happy. Click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Love you. Goodbye.